On the outfield wall at Doak Field, you'll find the number 26. But to fully understand the significance of the number, you have to know the player who wore it, Chris Combs. As an outfielder first baseman from 1994 to 97, Chris piled up the power numbers. He's still 5th in Wolfpack history in career home runs with 42 and 10th in career RBI with 159. In his final season, Chris pitched well enough to be drafted in the 5th round by the Pittsburgh Pirates. His coach that year was in his first year with the Wolfpack, ELLIOTT AVENT.
Chris did some amazing things here. He could play every position. He was a great third baseman because of his length. Obviously, a great first baseman. He could stretch and shorten that throw a little bit, but he played the outfield very gracefully and with a lot of athleticism. Yes, a great player, and I grew to love his greatness. Probably the best power I've ever had at NC State.
To understand the significance of number 26, you have to know about the long-standing love that Chris Combs had for NC State.
My brother was in a bassinet in the press box at Doak Field. I mean, all we knew our whole childhood was NC State athletics and NC State baseball. And so for me to walk into a baseball game and see number 26 Combs in the outfield just represents a lifetime of a bigger love for a university than anybody ever truly understands about our family.
Ryan Combs followed in his big brother's footsteps to play baseball at NC State. Their dad, Francis, and Uncle Freddie were on the 1968 College World Series team. They all shared a love for baseball that began to grow as kids during those hot summer workouts. It was a connection shared by a father and his sons.
I didn't really push him into it, but he kind of pushes me, really, and we go to the ballpark a lot together, and we just enjoy being out there, and he enjoys doing it.
Not many dads want to go out because they're usually on work, and he takes some time off of work and just comes home, and we hit a lot.
That young man who could play every position on the field went on to become a star at Broughton High School, and then the ultimate destination for him, NC State. It was there where a new roster of friends developed and learned who Chris Combs really is.
I was his roommate in college. I honestly cannot remember him having a demeaning thing to say about anybody. He was just always positive, funny.
You would be hard pressed to find someone that A, didn't really respect how good he was at what he did, but B, just such a great guy, you know, and that's pretty special.
In life after baseball, Chris used those attributes working as associate director for the Wolfpack Club for 14 years. He helped raise money for the school that meant so much and did so much for him. To understand the significance of number 26, you have to know what happened in 2016 when Chris Combs was diagnosed with ALS. Even though he knew what the end result would be, he refused to sit in neutral gear.
He wanted to win, just like he wants to win now. And that was his competitive spirit, rolled right over after a diagnosis. We can do something, and let's start another team.
The day after he digested everything, he went out and he started, the team Chris Combs, and they've just done such wonderful things for the last 4 or 5 years that if this happens to one of us, you hope that you have the strength and the humility to go out and say, you know what, I might not be saved, but maybe someone 10 years from now, their children won't have to go through this.
Not once did I ever hear my brother say, why me, or this is not fair. Not once. He just said, you know what, we're going to do something here, we're going to change the world, we're going to find a cure for this, and he went out and did that. He created Team Chris Combs. He found Project ELLIOTT out of New York, and he went to work.
His work since diagnosis has helped raise over $4 million to strike out ALS. That amount will continue to grow thanks to his many friends and family. They have always been there for support, especially when ALS began to take a stronger hold of Chris. His body weakened, but his resolve did not. That was evident with each phone call, text, or visit.
How he has handled this situation is just a testament to the person he is, and it just gives you just a true reflection
of who he is, you know. So nobody that I know could have handled this, you know, with as much grace, positivity, strength as Chris, you know.
No matter the stages of the disease that he's been going through, he still maintains this, you know, ability to stay just positive. So that's inspiring. Because he's obviously gone through some rough stuff, and he doesn't seem to change his cadence or the way he talks or what he wants to talk about. He's very positive. He's very into, you know, conversating and finding out what's going on with you and concerned about everybody else but himself.
That is Chris Combs. That is why his number will always be a visual reminder of who he was and what he stood for. Those who understand the significance of number 26 wanted Chris to see it in person. So on a sunny April afternoon, they took him to the newly decorated outfield wall. A moment to capture and remember with hugs, with kisses, with smiles. It was a small and personal celebration, not knowing if he would ever be able to make a return trip, not knowing what the next day, the next week, or the next month would be like.
The smile on his face, what Francis and Ryan still talk about, what it meant to him, gives me great pleasure and great joy knowing we got that done.
Exactly 5 months to the day after his visit to Doak Field, Chris Combs passed away at the age of 45.
What we will all take and what Chris Combs' lasting legacy will be for all of us is the pride, the dignity, and the courage which he battled this horrific opponent.
Just the fight, the perseverance, the determination that I've seen in him every day, that he's going to give it his best, has been something that I will cherish, that I got to witness for the rest of my life.